Imagine waking up tomorrow and seeing this headline flash across your phone: Jamaica confirms billions of barrels of offshore oil. Gas prices plunge. The Jamaican dollar surges. Foreign investors are lined up at Norman Manley with briefcases and big plans. That headline hasn't happened yet. But right now, as you watch this video, a specialized research vessel is sitting somewhere off Jamaica's southern coast, scanning the seabed, sampling the ocean floor, and pulling up cores of sediment, all to answer one massive question: is Jamaica sitting on a commercial offshore oil field, or has the hype been oversold for decades? This is the closest we've been in a generation to a real answer. And whatever the data from this mission says over the next 12 to 18 months could change how Jamaica works, spends, earns, and even how much you pay on your light bill. This is Evolve Jamaica, and today we're breaking down the biggest offshore oil test in our history and what it could mean for you. Alright, so here's what you need to know. The ship is called the RV Jaya, that's Research Vessel Jaya. It's operated by a company called TDI Brooks International, and it was mobilized from Trinidad specifically for this mission. The company that hired them? United Oil and Gas. They hold what's called the Walton Morant license, a massive offshore area, south of Jamaica, covering the Walton Basin and Morant Basin. The license was recently extended to 2028, which tells you these guys are serious. Now, Energy Minister Daryl Vaz has been very clear about one thing: this is not drilling. Not yet. What they're doing is a geophysical and geochemical survey. Think of it like an ultra-advanced medical scan for the seabed. They're trying to see what's down there without actually drilling an exploratory well. Why does this matter? Because drilling an exploratory oil well offshore can cost anywhere from $50 to $200 million US. That's massive financial risk. This survey, probably costing $5 to $15 million, helps them decide if that bigger bet is worth making. And here's the number that's got everyone's attention. Geological assessments suggest this area could potentially hold up to 7 billion barrels of oil equivalent resources. That's oil and natural gas combined if everything lines up perfectly. To put that in perspective, Guyana's discovered fields, the ones that made them the fastest growing economy in the world, contain about 11 billion barrels. We're potentially talking about something in that same ballpark. But that's just theoretical. That's what this survey is trying to figure out. So what exactly is the RV Jaya doing? The survey has three main stages. Stage 1, Multibeam Echo Sounder. First, they're mapping the seabed in incredibly high resolution using a multibeam echo sounder. Think advanced sonar. The ship sends out thousands of sound waves that bounce off the ocean floor. From this, they create a detailed 3D map showing every ridge, valley, and geological feature. Why? Because certain seabed formations are more likely to trap oil and gas. They're looking for structures like anticlines, upward folds in rock layers, that act like natural containers for hydrocarbons. Stage 2, Heat Flow Measurements. Next, they're measuring heat from the subsurface. This is crucial. Oil and gas form when organic material gets buried under sediment and literally cooked by Earth's heat over millions of years. But the temperature has to be in what's called the oil window, roughly 60 to 120 degrees Celsius. If temperatures are in the right range, that's a big green flag. If not, it's a deal breaker. Stage 3, Piston Coring, the money shot. Now the critical part, piston coring. They're dropping long, hollow tubes, 10, 20, even 30 meters long into the seabed and pulling up cylindrical samples. They're collecting 40 to 60 of these cores from different locations. These get sent to a lab where geochemists analyze them for thermogenic hydrocarbons, oil and gas molecules that form through heat and pressure. If they find these in the right concentrations, that tells them two things: oil and gas are definitely being generated somewhere below, and those hydrocarbons are moving upward, which means they could be accumulating in a reservoir worth drilling. This is why piston coring is the moment of truth. The first two stages tell you if conditions are right. The cores tell you if oil is actually there. One more thing, this work is happening in deep water, well away from the main artisanal. So who is United Oil and Gas? They're a UK-based upstream oil and gas company. Upstream means exploration and production, finding oil and getting it out. They're not one of the massive players like ExxonMobil. Think mid-tier explorer that specializes in frontier regions. High risk, high reward. United originally acquired the Walton Morant license in 2018. They've been working slowly, reviewing old seismic data, waiting for the right time and technology. TDI Brooks International, the company running the survey, are specialists in marine geoscience. Think of them as the contractor with the gear and expertise. Energy Minister Daryl Vaz has been measured in his comments. First, this is early-stage exploration. No grand promises about oil riches. Second, the government welcomes the investment and data. Even if this doesn't lead to drilling, the geological knowledge is valuable. Third, any future development would need to meet environmental and regulatory standards. Here's the timeline. The survey wraps up by late February or early March 2026. Preliminary analysis whether hydrocarbons show up could be known within 1 to 2 months. So April or May for initial hints. Full, detailed analysis takes longer. Expect a comprehensive report by mid-2026, around June or July. That's when United will either announce plans to drill, seek a bigger partner, or quietly shelve the project. Let's game this out. 3 possible futures based on what this survey reveals. Scenario A. Strong signs of a real petroleum system. The cores come back loaded with hydrocarbons. Heat flow data is perfect. Seabed mapping shows ideal structures. Everything lines up. What happens? United immediately plans a full exploration well. They might also look for a farm-out partner, selling part of their license to a major like ExxonMobil or Shell who has the capital for drilling. If a major gets involved and they hit oil, you're looking at production within 3 to 5 years. For Jamaica, this is the dream scenario. Jobs, thousands of new positions, rig workers, engineers, support staff, logistics. Plus restaurants, hotels, transportation services supporting the industry. Government revenue. Once production starts, Jamaica collects royalties, typically 10 to 15% of gross revenue, corporate taxes, and profit sharing. We're talking billions over the life of the field. Foreign exchange. Jamaica imports almost all our fuel. We spend hundreds of millions of US dollars yearly buying oil and gas. If we produce our own, that import bill drops. If we produce surplus, we can export it, dollars coming in instead of going out. Energy prices. Domestic production could stabilize energy costs. Your light bill could come down. Transportation costs could drop. Ripple effects across the economy. Scenario B. Mixed signals. The results are okay. Not bad, not amazing. Maybe some hydrocarbons, but lower concentrations. Or oil exists but only in certain sub-areas. United might still move forward cautiously, drilling a smaller well to test one zone, or waiting for oil prices to rise before committing more capital. For Jamaica, this is limbo. Some short-term benefits but no clear path to production. Scenario C. Weak results. The cores are disappointing. No significant hydrocarbons, or geological conditions aren't right for commercial extraction. United likely lets the license lapse. The project stalls. Jamaica remains a frontier basin with theoretical potential but no proof. This isn't necessarily disaster. We keep focusing on tourism, bauxite, agriculture, services, and renewables. We miss out on oil's transformation, but we also avoid its environmental risks and governance challenges. If Jamaica finds oil, especially a lot of it, that comes with serious risks. Right now, this survey has very low environmental risk. They're not drilling, just taking measurements and core samples. But actual drilling and production? Different story. Offshore drilling comes with risks, equipment failures, blowouts, spills. Remember Deepwater Horizon in 2010? 11 people died, marine life devastated, tens of billions in damage to fishing and tourism. Jamaica's economy depends on pristine beaches and coral reefs. A major spill could be catastrophic for tourism, our biggest foreign exchange earner, and hurt fishermen who depend on healthy marine ecosystems. Any oil development needs rock-solid environmental safeguards and strict oversight. The question is, does Jamaica have the regulatory capacity to enforce those standards? Governance risk, the resource curse. Here's what people don't understand about oil wealth. It can actually make a country poorer if not managed well. This is the resource curse. Countries like Nigeria, Venezuela, and Angola found massive oil and should be rich. Instead, corruption, inequality, economic mismanagement. Why? Oil money flows straight to the state, creating huge temptation for corruption. It can also push up the currency so much that farming and manufacturing can't compete internationally. That's Dutch disease. The non-oil economy shrinks. You become dangerously dependent on one commodity. When oil prices crash, which they always do, eventually you're left with nothing. Jamaica has governance challenges. If we're not careful, oil could make those worse, not better. Countries that avoided the resource curse: Norway, Trinidad to some extent, Guyana so far did a few things right. Transparent laws and contracts, every agreement, every payment public. No backroom deals. Sovereign wealth fund, don't spend all oil money immediately. Invest revenues long term, spend only the interest. Oil wealth becomes permanent wealth for future generations. Local content requirements, require oil companies to hire local workers, use local suppliers, transfer technology. Don't let foreign companies extract wealth and leave. Strong regulatory institutions, create an independent body to oversee the oil sector, insulated from political interference with real enforcement power. Critical point: Jamaica needs to put these structures in place now, before we find oil, not after. Once oil starts flowing, it becomes politically harder to impose rules. But right now, while we're still in survey phase, we have time to do this right. Where do we go from here? What should you watch over the next year and a half? Milestone 1, survey completion, late February, early March 2026. Watch for an official announcement that the survey wrapped up, all data collection completed. This starts the analysis clock. Milestone 2, preliminary results, April-May 2026. 1 to 2 months after, expect preliminary findings. Look for language like encouraging signs if things are going well. Vague phrases like continuing to evaluate usually mean not as strong as hoped. This is when leaks happen. Pay attention to industry analysts, energy blogs, local news. Real news often comes through informal channels first. Milestone 3, full report and decision, June to July 2026. By mid-2026, expect a comprehensive report and clear decision. 3 possible outcomes. They announce drilling plans, huge deal. They seek a partner through farm out, still positive. Or they quietly shelve the project, weak results. Milestone 4, policy developments. Watch what the government does. Are they drafting petroleum legislation? Setting up regulatory bodies? Talking about a sovereign wealth fund? Movement on these fronts means they're taking oil seriously and preparing. Silence is a red flag. Milestone 5, environmental assessments. If United moves toward drilling, they'll need an environmental impact assessment with public consultations. Don't sleep on these. This is where you raise concerns about protection, benefit sharing, local employment. Keep your eye out for EIA hearing announcements. This survey happening right now is the most serious offshore oil exploration move Jamaica's made in decades. The RV is collecting data that could answer a 40-year question: is there really commercial oil under our waters? In 6 to 12 months, we'll have a much clearer picture. Depending on what that shows, Jamaica could be on the verge of economic transformation unlike anything since independence. But here's what I want you to take away: oil is not a magic bullet. Yes, it could bring jobs, revenue, energy security, foreign exchange. But it could also bring corruption, environmental damage, economic dependence if we're not careful. The science happening offshore, the mapping, heat measurements, core samples, that's just geology and chemistry. It's neutral. It's data. What we do with that data. Whether you're excited about Jamaica becoming an oil producer or you'd rather see us focus on renewables and tourism, this is the time to pay attention. This is the time to demand transparency, accountability, and structures that ensure if oil wealth comes, it benefits all Jamaicans, not just well-connected elites. Guyana found oil in 2015. Within 5 years, fastest growing economy on the planet. But also, inflation, housing crises, fears that oil money is concentrating in few hands. Trinidad found oil over a century ago. Made them richest in the Caribbean for decades. But now reserves are declining, economies struggling to diversify, facing hard questions about what's next. Jamaica has a chance to learn from both stories. We can take the best lessons from Norway, Guyana, Trinidad, and the countries that got it wrong. We can build institutions and safeguards now, before oil starts flowing. Or we can rush in unprepared and hope for the best. I know which path I'd prefer. What about you? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment. Do you want Jamaica to become an oil-producing nation? Or should we focus on renewables? What safeguards do you think we need if oil is found? What questions do I need to answer in the follow-up? Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. And if this was helpful, share it with someone who needs to understand what's happening offshore right now. This is Evolve Jamaica, and I'll see you in the next one.